Can you show them how to do some pelvic tilts? Maybe some hip circles? Whee! A fast and smooth labor and birth is what every mama hopes for. And sometimes that happens, but we all know that labor is a marathon, not a sprint. For today's video, I want to go over 5 different ways you can use the birth ball to keep labor going. I'm Annabelle Carney, and you'll find more videos just like this on my channel, along with the occasional family vlogs. So if that's something that you're interested in, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ding the little bell down below. So before we dive into the 5 different ways that you can use your birth ball, let's quickly review what needs to happen in order for labor to begin. So the body actually begins to prepare for labor weeks before you actually go into labor. Your baby plays a role in the start of labor by releasing a small amount of protein that triggers this cascade of hormones. So when your body releases these specific hormones, this tells your body that it's go time. So baby's head engages with the cervix, which causes cervical change, and it begins to soften and efface. This pre-labor phase sets the stage for the progress that we'll discuss next. Now keep in mind that baby plays an active role during labor, and while you're doing the hard work of labor, baby is also hard at work just trying to dance their way through your pelvis. Now these little dance moves, they're called the cardinal movements of labor, and it first begins with baby's widest part of their head engaging in the pelvic inlet. Then baby continues to descend down into the pelvis and flexes their head, and then they make their first rotation and then extension of their head. They make their second rotation, then out comes their entire body, which is called expulsion, or happy birthday baby. So all of these movements are crucial for a smooth delivery. Now the pelvis has 3 different levels that need to open in order for baby to make their way down through the birth canal. And using a birth ball can help with this process. So by performing certain movements on the ball, you can encourage the pelvis to open and create more space for baby's descent. And as you can see, baby's dance through the pelvis isn't just one straight shot down. They're trying to find their way through the birth canal as they encounter a lot of soft tissue and bony structures. So when using your birth ball, you want to make sure that it's the appropriate size for your height. So ideally, when you're sitting on the birth ball, you want your hips to be slightly higher than your knees or right in line with them. And for reference, I'm just under 5'2", so a 55 centimeter ball is perfect for me. Now, let's go into the 5 different positions that you can get into with the birth ball to keep labor going. So the first movement that we can do on the ball are pelvic tilts. So this is where you're going to be tucking your tailbone underneath you and then sticking your booty back out. So in a way, it's similar to a cat-cow motion if you've ever done yoga. Round and stick it out. The goal with this movement is to move this sacrum out of the way so that baby can make their way further into your pelvis. Now the next movement that you can do on your birth ball is called hip circles. So with this one, you're gonna have your feet flat on the floor with your knees and feet wider than your hips, and then you're just gonna go ahead and make large circles in one direction. And larger is better than smaller circles. Then after a little bit, you can go the other direction. And there you go. The third movement that you can do are called hip dips. So same position as the hip circles, but you're gonna go ahead and kind of dip your hips side to side in a U-shaped manner. The fourth way that we can use the birth ball during labor is by getting into a forward-leaning position. When we get into a forward-leaning position on the ball, not only are we allowing our body to rest, but also allowing gravity to help baby descend further into the pelvis and promote good positioning. So for this, you're just gonna go ahead and kneel in front of your ball, and then your knees are nice and wide, and just lean forward. You can either rock side to side or front to back. And the fifth way that you can use your birth ball is by getting into a lunge position. So when we get into this lunge position, we're creating this asymmetrical movement in the pelvis that helps with baby's descent further down into the birth canal. So with this, you're just gonna kneel in front of your birth ball and then choose one leg to start with and get into a kneeling lunge and lean forward. From there, you can either stay there or you can take some rocks and by bending and straightening out that front leg. And then don't forget to switch sides. And there you have it. 5 effective ways to use a birth ball to keep labor moving. So notice how I didn't include bouncing up and down. Well, that's because bouncing is neither good or bad, but it really isn't that helpful. Bouncing isn't really gonna help baby navigate through the pelvis or help them into a more ideal position. So by using any of those 5 movements, you're gonna be providing movement of the hips and allowing space in different areas, which can make it easier for your babe to work down and out through your pelvis. Use these positions towards the end of pregnancy and or during labor. Baby putting pressure on your cervix will help you dilate and efface and therefore release more of those good labor hormones saying, hey, let's have this baby. And in no time, you'll be holding your babe. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up for me and share your thoughts and experiences down in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram at AnnabelleJoy. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.